Why many younger women feel safe with older men. It often begins quietly. A young woman meets an older man, not necessarily wealthy, not famous, maybe not even someone she'd initially consider romantically. But something about him feels different, calmer, safer. He listens without trying to win. He doesn't rush to impress, he makes her feel like she can breathe. And in a world where attention is cheap and connection is rare, that presence feels like a sanctuary. That's the first truth. Many younger women are drawn to older men not for the stereotypes we hear, money, power, or status, but for a deeper sense of emotional safety. They feel like this man won't judge their uncertainty. They can figure life out around him, not in spite of him. Now, safety isn't about age alone. It's about what age is supposed to bring: emotional regulation, life perspective, less ego. Older men often have less need to prove themselves in every conversation. They've failed, succeeded, lost, and rebuilt. That lived experience makes them slower to anger and quicker to listen. For a younger woman, especially one who's experienced emotional chaos from peers her own age, this grounded energy feels like emotional shelter. She doesn't have to fight to be seen. She doesn't need to keep her guard up. And when you're used to being objectified, misunderstood, or constantly tested, feeling emotionally safe is magnetic. But here's where the responsibility begins. Because when a younger woman opens up in the presence of an older man, she often does so with vulnerability she might not even recognize. She's revealing more than just her story, she's offering trust. And that trust is fragile. An older man must be wise enough to know that her admiration isn't permission. Her emotional openness isn't a green light for dominance. It's an invitation for leadership, not control. She may seek his steadiness, but she's not giving up her autonomy. This dynamic is not about power, it's about presence. And when that presence is misused, it doesn't just break trust. It teaches her not to trust again. Older men who seek out younger women must ask themselves, why? Is it because they genuinely feel a soul connection, or are they chasing the validation of being desired again? One answer is loving, the other is selfish. And the line between those motives is razor thin. It takes integrity to love someone whose life is still unfolding, without trying to shape it for your own comfort. It takes wisdom to support her dreams without steering them toward your own nostalgia. The mature man does not look for a younger partner to relive his youth. He looks to support her as she fully enters hers. Younger women also often come from emotionally underdeveloped relationships. They've dated guys who confuse domination with confidence, who use emotional games to maintain power, who are terrified of intimacy but mask it with bravado. So when she meets an older man who's calm, patient, and unfazed by her defenses, it feels disarming in the best way. She starts to realize that being loved doesn't have to mean being controlled, that she doesn't have to perform to be desired. And in that revelation, something in her begins to heal. But again, for that healing to be real and safe, the man must honor the space she's giving him. It's not uncommon for these women to be dealing with father wounds, abandonment issues, or unresolved trauma. That doesn't mean she's broken. It means she's human. But it does mean the man she opens up to must not be reckless. You don't play therapist. You don't manipulate her with your own emotional story. You don't become her savior. What you do is hold space, offer wisdom without expectation, and build trust through consistency, because she may be young, but she'll remember how you treated her for the rest of her life. There's also something else happening beneath the surface, something rarely talked about. When a younger woman is drawn to an older man, it's often because she's looking for a mirror of her future self. She wants to feel like who she's becoming is safe, possible, and worthy of love. The older man isn't just a romantic interest, he's an archetype of where she's headed. She's asking, can someone like me still be loved in 20 years, 30 years? And your answer comes not from words, but from how you treat her today. That's the real weight of responsibility, because you're not just shaping her perception of you. You're shaping her belief in love itself. But let's also acknowledge that younger women aren't naive. Many are sharp, emotionally intelligent, and deeply self-aware. They know when they're being used. They know when admiration turns into manipulation. And they know when a man is wise, or just wearing the mask of maturity. So to be an older man in a relationship with a younger woman is not a privilege. It's a test. A test of your own emotional growth, your patience, and your ability to love without taking. She may look to you for guidance, but if you're still chasing validation, you'll fail her, and eventually, you'll fail yourself. There's nothing wrong with love that spans ages. It can be beautiful, healing, and deeply fulfilling, but it only works when both partners meet in emotional truth, not just chemistry. When a younger woman feels safe with an older man, it's a sacred space, not an opportunity. She's saying, You feel like home, and your job isn't to move in and take over, it's to tend that home with respect. Let her decorate it, let her grow inside it, and never forget, she chose you because she sensed something stable, not because she wanted to become your project. And if you've made it this far, then
Just maybe, you're not the kind of man who takes relationships lightly. Maybe you felt that deep pull too. The sense that connection later in life can be even more meaningful than what you chased in your younger years. That relationships aren't about having someone to impress, but someone you can build peace with. And when a younger woman chooses to walk beside you, not because you dazzled her, but because she felt safe, you're not being given a trophy, you're being handed trust. And how you hold that trust will say everything about the kind of man you've become. So before you go, take a breath. Ask yourself honestly, are you a calm place in a chaotic world? Do you offer presence more than pressure? Do you give guidance? Or do you quietly crave control? Because younger women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for presence. And presence is something only time, self-awareness, and lived wisdom can offer. You don't have to be rich, you don't have to be ripped, but you do have to be real. And the older you are, the more people can feel when you're not.
this is the moment to reflect on what kind of legacy you want to leave, not just as a
Who's loved, but as a man who loved well. If you're fortunate enough to be loved by someone younger, treat it like sacred ground. Help her grow. Don't dim her light. Don't use her youth to escape your age. Instead, show her what it means to age with grace, to lead with softness, and to protect without controlling. Because that, more than anything, is what she will remember about you. Not your stories, not your past, but how she felt in your presence.
And if you're watching this not as a man, but as a woman trying to understand this dynamic better, know this. It's not your job to fix anyone, younger or older. You don't need to shrink to fit someone's ego. When a man is truly grounded, you'll feel it. He won't just listen, he'll make you feel safe in your own becoming. You deserve that, no matter your age. So if this resonated with you, share it. Send it to someone who needs this reminder. And if you're on your own journey, healing, growing, learning, know this channel is here for you. We're not here to judge the past, but to help you build a better future, one real connection at a time.
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. What's the realest thing you've learned about age and love? I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay wise, stay grounded, and most of all, stay true to the love that respects your soul.